20 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? It's Clutch here. Essam here, back to another video. And I know that we haven't uploaded in like forever. I think it's been like almost 2 weeks now, maybe a little bit more. But I mean, everybody's been pretty busy with school and work and whatnot, so it's been pretty difficult for us to find time to make content. But as we know, the Houston Texans have been on a phenomenal run, thanks to numerous different players stepping up, thanks to the coaching of DeMeco Ryans, thanks to, of course, C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and everybody involved. And hopefully Tank Dell has a speedy recovery. It's been talked about that he could possibly return for the playoffs. I think Ian Rappaport was the one who said it, and then some other people have said it as well. So maybe that's something to be looking out for. I don't know. But for today's video, I'm going to be talking about one player who's really starting to break into like superstardom, who's really starting to come into his own. And this player is Stingley Jr. And at the time of the pick, he was the third overall pick in the 2022 NFL draft. And at the time of the pick, a lot of people, I don't want to say were disappointed, but a lot of people questioned the pick. A lot of people thought we should have picked Sauce Gardner, or we should have just drafted a different position. And at the time, I'm not going to say I hated the pick, because I mean, I was okay with Stingley. At the time, I wanted Stingley over Sauce. So I didn't really mind it. But a lot of people were saying stuff like that, how they wanted Kayvon, which I was a fan of Kayvon as well. I wouldn't have been mad if we got Kayvon Thibodeau, but we did end up taking Stingley ultimately. And to this point right now, outside of the couple of injuries he's had, this looked like a great pick. I mean, unbiasedly, he's been better than Sauce so far up to this point in his career. I mean, yes, I guess you can make the case the case for the injuries and whatnot. Sauce hasn't really been injured compared to Stingley, where he's had, I don't want to say major injuries, but he's had 2 injuries that have kept him out for at least 4 to 5 weeks, especially this season, the hamstring. I think it was like, 5 or 6 weeks. And then last year, I think he was out for like 7 weeks or something like that. But I mean, outside of those 2 little knick-knack injuries, he's been really, really good. He's shut down the side of his field. I mean, he keeps everything in front of him. He's kind of like I don't know. I don't want to say this may be a dumb little comparison, but the way he keeps everything in front of him, it looks like a safety. You know how safeties are standing back there? They just have to keep everything in front of them. They're looking in front of them. Just don't let nobody get behind you. That's kind of how Stingley plays, but in terms of like a cornerback. He doesn't really let anybody get behind him, and when he does, a.k.a. the Broncos game, when I think it was Cortland Sutton who just simply ran past him. It was like a stop and go. And then he just absolutely burned Stingley. But Stingley had the ability and the speed to just get back there and have a PBU. And a lot of people might say that was a little bit of a passer interference type of PBU. And while I might agree, it was still a good play for Stingley to get back there in time. And he was ultimately able to break that pass up. And I mean, that was a great play by Stingley. And we've seen stuff like that from Stingley throughout his whole career so far. I mean, he's done it a couple times against the Broncos now. Of course, the first time we played the Broncos, I think it was like Stingley's second or third career game. And I mean, that wasn't the best of games for him. Cortland Sutton kind of had his way with Stingley, a couple jump balls, a couple nice routes. But the second time they came around, I think Stingley, it's safe to say he won that matchup. He had, I think, 2 passes defensed. He had 2 interceptions, and he allowed a 0.0 passer rating when targeted against the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson just wasn't able to really throw his way at all, and I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from a guy that you drafted 3rd overall. You want to see your third overall pick shine. You want him to become a core anchor on that defense, and that's exactly what he's become, and that's exactly what he's becoming right now. Throughout the past 3 games, he has 4 interceptions. I think he's tied for 4th most in the league, I want to say, with 4 on the year. I think it's something like that. He's top 7 for sure, I think, in interceptions. I want to say he's number 4, though, in the whole league in terms of interceptions this season. And, I mean, that's really, really good to see. He's still only 22. So, I mean, he's playing this good. He's this physical. He's this dominant. I'm not sure if that's the right thing to say right now, considering he's still very young. He still has a lot to learn. But, I mean, you don't really see that many corners coming to the league this early and their second season just become lockdown. And you're not going to see a lot of people, like national media, talk about him at least just yet. Maybe in a couple weeks, maybe next season, a couple seasons you will. But I don't think just yet. You're not going to see most of the national media talk about him like they do with Patrick Surtain or Sauce Gardner. Because for one, Stingley is more of a quiet, conservative guy compared to like Sauce, where he's just loud. He likes to talk a lot. He likes to talk trash a lot. He keeps his name out there. And Derek Stingley, he doesn't really do a lot of talking. He uses his talking on the field. And that's exactly what you want from your cornerback. I mean, trash talking is fun and all. It's fun to see players on your team go out there and just talk and then have fun and whatever. But then at the same time, it's kind of like if they talk all that trash and then they get cooked, it's like it's not a good look for your team, for your player, for anything. But for Stingley, he just likes to use his talking on the field. He may say a couple words here and there. You do see him celebrate a little bit on the field. But in terms of overall trash talking, he doesn't do that much. And I mean, I'm a fan of that. But Stingley, he's just becoming a superstar right now. I mean, everything he's doing is great. You don't really see him have too many errors. You don't really see him lose his man too much. There is a couple of plays. I think it was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It may have been on Jalen Petrie, I think. Jalen Petrie kind of let the receiver get open. I mean, it was like little plays like that where, I mean, it was a big gain, but like it's little miscommunication type of thing. So it's not fully on Stingley, especially when it was like I'm not sure what type of covers they were in, but it's like some weird coverage where it wasn't really on Stingley, but it was on the safety or something. But point is, they got a good completion on that play. But I mean, overall, Stingley's been great. He's been locked down. He's been elite. He's been everything you want, as I said, from your number 3 pick. He's still only 22. He's only going to get better. I fully expect him to be a top 5, maybe even a top 3 cornerback in this league. He's already gone up against some elite wide receivers. I mean, we've seen him go against, numerous. I mean, I can't even think of guys right now. Michael Pittman, A.J. Brown, Michael Thomas, just different guys like that. Elite of the elite. Or at least guys that were once elite, a.k.a. Michael Thomas. But we've seen him go against some great guys. And he's, of course, Devontae Adams as well. He kind of slowed down Devontae Adams in the Raiders last season. But he's been great. Let's hope he can continue. And I think he's going to be a good piece for this defense, for D'Amico's team, for the team in general. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Derek Stingley, how he's progressed thus far. I think he's going to be a top 3 corner in this league. I mean, at the least top 5. But yeah, let me know what y'all guys think. And thank y'all guys for watching. It's been Clutch Entertainment. Out. Peace.